Assalamualaikum, Sister Mary.
Alaikum salam, ma'am.
I have a question and also have a testimony. Which one should I do first? Give the testimony first, please. Okay. All right. So this is not my testimony, but it was a testimony from a sister that shared it with me as I had told them about the Paximune. Her husband had tested positive for COVID-19. And he didn't really have a lot of symptoms from what I understand. It was just more like a cough. And then she too had also tested positive, but she didn't have any symptoms at all. And so they got the Paximune right away, and he did his time in quarantine, and he had went back to work, and he was fine. And she told me, she said, yeah, he was feeling better after like 3 days. So we know that it is working, and we're going to continue to push it. And but however, my question is from a brother that wanted to know where is Paximune produced?
Where is it produced, like the geographical location?
Yes.
Yeah, it's produced in the state of Colorado.
Okay.
It's just from the United States, so it's just produced on an organic, it's an organic farm that is attached to a biotechnology laboratory. So it's a complete unit. So nothing is shipped in from some other place. It all takes place, in a very special location in the high elevations of the Colorado mountains. As a special herd of black cows, they're not Angus cows. Everybody says, "Oh, you mean Angus cows?" No, those are specially bred for this purpose, and they are bled, and the serum from these cows has been harvested, and that's where the interferon is taken from. People have heard me say the interferon is found in milk from cows. That's true, but it came from the serum or the blood of the cow into the milk. And so, for production purposes, it's much more efficient to periodically bleed these cows, extract the interferon from the serum, and then put that blood back into the cow so they're not harmed in any way. And that's where on the label it says bovine protein. Mm-hmm. Bovine is just a Latin term that means cow. So the proteins are the interferon molecules that are taken from the serum. But it's from a special breed of cattle in the mountains of Colorado. And this is the best interferon product that I have ever had. And I have 30 years of experience. So I'm so happy to have it. And I'm so happy to be able to offer it in this new way. So it's getting out to many, many people who need it. It's a lifesaver, and we are flattening our own curve. So spread the word, let everybody know. But nobody has to die. That, to me, from now on, it breaks my heart every time I hear some child or anybody dying, because it's not necessary now.
Right.
We know what to do.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. We have to do a clinical trial to generate valid scientific data so that we know that what we are doing is effective. We know that the research on Paximune or alpha interferon, as Minister Farrakhan says, we want alpha interferon. Well, we have it in the form of Paximune. The Cuban interferon, the interferon alpha 2B, that's an injectable form of interferon used by doctors in ICUs with critically ill patients who might be on ventilators. The Paximune is for home use. This is for self-care. This is for people taking care of themselves. This is for people who want to prevent the spread of infection, who might be at risk because of their occupation, or just because they have to go to the grocery store or go to the dentist. So when you are at risk, then you need the Paximune for prevention. Unfortunately, sometimes prevention doesn't work, or sometimes prevention is too late. Someone is already infected. They already got the virus. Then what do? Do you take hydrochloroquine like the president said, with no proof? Or do you take Paximune, the alpha interferon product, which has a long research history, going all the way back personally with yours truly, 30 years taking care of HIV patients. The science of interferon is it handles any virus, not just COVID-19, not just HIV. It's not specific. It doesn't respect any virus. To put it bluntly, alpha interferon has no respect for any virus. It kills them all. Doesn't make any difference whether they have an envelope or not an envelope and all the minutiae that virologists like to talk about to differentiate this virus from that virus, this strain from that strain. As far as interferon is concerned, it doesn't make any difference what the virus is, how it mutates, how it tries to change, how it tries to defend itself. You put the interferon in there, the virus is out of there. Bottom line, it's out of there. Now we can get some lab scientists in here who can explain in minute detail that would put everybody to sleep how this thing actually works. I'm not that kind of a lab scientist. I'm a clinical doctor. I take care of people. And so all I'm interested in is does it work or not? Is it safe or not? Is it affordable or not? Is it acceptable for all other reasons or not? And if it meets that criteria, if it's effective, if it's cost effective, if it's safe, and if it's acceptable, meaning culturally acceptable to people, that they would actually use it. They wouldn't have some reason why they would turn it down. And so I would say that today, on all four of those points, we have solid evidence. Now, some people say, well, I don't want to take the Paximune because it says bovine protein, and bovine protein means cow proteins. Well, that's what alpha interferon is. What did you think it was? It's a protein, and proteins are made by animals. And so humans make alpha interferon proteins. Cows make alpha interferon proteins. All animals make alpha interferon protein. You see, so it's an animal-derived protein. It's a part of the immune system. It's a cytokine. So now people who don't like cows, don't want bovine proteins, well, then they can't have interferons. In other words, you can't actually prevent COVID-19. You actually cannot treat COVID-19. When they get on the news and say there is no treatment for COVID-19, they must be talking about people who are vegans. For people who are vegans who will not accept bovine proteins, even though it would save their lives, there is no treatment for COVID-19. You just have to take your chances. I mean, this is the blunt truth. And I'm not trying to cater to anybody in one way or the other. My interest as a doctor is to get everybody well. And so I can't mince words. I have to say what's right and what's true. And if what I say isn't true, the results will show me to be the liar. But the results show the opposite. That when we were faced with the challenge of HIV, we met it, and we met it with alpha interferon. Now we're faced with the challenge of COVID-19. Well, the Chinese met it. They met it with alpha interferon. The Koreans met it. They met it with alpha interferon. Well, if we're going to meet it, what are we going to meet it with? We're going to meet it with what works. And that's alpha interferon. And we have it. So we're asking people with Your Immunity Project to step out of the confusion and into the solution. It's your choice. Stay where you are, if that's your choice. Be happy where you are. But we have to survive this thing. Now, today